Hello, boys and girls, moms and dads. This is Mr. Osmussen with another instructional video. This one is about how students will conduct themselves when they are in a video conference or a virtual classroom. First off, moms and dads, I want to share with you that the video classroom is the learning community for our students. That's not the proper time for parents to pop in and try to engage the teacher in a conversation. That's really the time where the students are coming together to create that learning community. If you have a need to communicate with the teachers, we do ask that you reach out to them separately by email or by phone call, most likely by email, and they will get back to you, and if need be, you guys can set up a phone call or a video conference. Boys and girls, let's talk about what it means to be respectful in the classroom setting. I'm going to share my screen and we can go through and talk about that together. Let's keep it super simple. What are the classroom rules? The classroom rules are show up on time. And I want to remind you that attendance is being taken, and just like in the brick and mortar or in the building, attendance is important for teaching and learning. And we want you to show up on time. We want you to be there each and every day so that way your learning can continue. We want you to behave like you are at school. We want you to dress for success. Don't show up to class in your pajamas. Actually put on school clothes. Be ready to be successful through the dress that you're wearing. We want you to sit in one spot. Find a good location with a neutral background behind you, not one that has a lot of commotion and a lot of noise. Do not be laying down on your bed, and certainly we don't want you to be wandering around with your computer because that's very distracting for others that are in the classroom. Please keep yourself muted. It's really about the technology. When you come into the classroom, you should make sure that your microphone is muted so that way there's not a lot of feedback that's happening in the technology. We want your video on though. To create that learning environment, to create the classroom, we need to know that you're present. We need to see you there. You're going to learn on the various platforms, be it Zoom or now inside of the Google Classroom. There's such a thing called Google Meets, which is very similar to a Zoom. You're going to learn how to raise your hand virtually. And in my meetings, I see the teachers and those people that I'm meeting with, when they want to talk, they literally do raise their hand. They catch my attention. I then call upon them like your teacher is going to call upon you. At that point, you unmute yourself so that way, of course, you can be heard. And then after you're through with that discussion or contributing to the conversation, go back to muting yourself. Now, what I have learned is in small groups, everyone is able to keep themselves, their microphones activated, and we don't get that feedback. Of course, we want you to pay attention. We want you to listen, actively participate. For our 7th and 8th graders that are returning to Mojave, you might remember SLANT, where you're sitting up, you're listening, you're actively participating, you're nodding when the speaker is talking, and you're then tracking along. Now, tracking along and following and keeping your eye on the speaker, of course, in the many grids in the virtual classroom, the video conference, you're kind of just changing your eyes where you're focusing. Just like in the classroom, we don't want you eating. That can be super duper distracting to others, particularly to the presenter. And if your video, or excuse me, if you happen to be unmuted, then we get that chomping sound, and that's not what we want. Of course, we want you to have fun and to do your very best. We also have something called PAWS at Mojave, and oftentimes we talk about practicing your PAWS. What we mean by that is to practice respect, accept responsibility, work together. Safety matters right here at Mojave Middle School, even in or especially in the video classrooms. So when you enter the class, what does that mean to practice respect? Well, it means that you're showing up on time. It means that your cameras are on, that your audio is off, and that you're tracking following teacher direction. Accepting responsibility. Have your materials all set and ready to go, and choose that space that's free of distraction. Working together means that you're on time and you're ready to learn. Safety matters by using kind words and kind faces. When the teacher is leading the whole group instruction, once again, your video is on and they're going to see you nodding. They're going to see you participating. They might see you kind of writing down and taking notes. That's how they know that you are participating and that you're practicing respect and being part of the learning process. You're going to answer questions by unmuting yourself. Teachers will talk to you about using the chat features, and you're always giving your personal best. Make sure that you ask questions, that you're using that voice. That's accepting responsibility, taking responsibility of your own learning, being present, and avoid multitasking. Don't have that cell phone around, all of those distractions with the notifications. And we're going to see that you're doing this, and we know that you're not listening. So make sure that you keep yourself free of distraction. Working together means that you're listening attentively, you're being positive, you're encouraging others. Again, safety matters, using kind words and faces. One-on-one instruction, all that similar stuff. And I do want to talk a little bit about the small group activities. In the brick and mortar inside the building, I know that teachers used to have small groups go out into the hallway or off into the corner of the classroom. Small groups of students would huddle up and they would collaborate and then bring information back to the larger group. We can do that in a video conference inside the virtual classroom. We have breakout rooms. And so as the year goes on and we start using those breakout rooms, remember that when you're in the breakout room, you're still expected to have that camera on, make sure that your audio is on. Once again, in small groups, we don't have those feedback challenges, and make sure that we're not talking over other individuals. Accept responsibility by encouraging each other to stay on topic. Put forth your effort in the group. It shouldn't be one person dominating and one person doing all the work. It's a collaboration, and we learn best when we are collaborating. We work together, we respect the views of others, and we complete that work together. Safety, again, is using kind words and faces. For our students that are returning to Mojave, you're familiar with stop, walk, and talk. For our new to Mojave students and for everybody, we will be reviewing in the virtual classroom what we mean by stop, leave, and talk if you've been disrespected or you hear disrespect from another student. I'm going to go back to the full screen. And here I am. Boys and girls, know that there's lots of support here on campus. That what does it mean to practice your PAWS? Your teachers are going to review this all the way through week one, having lots of discussion about what the classroom norms are in each and every one of the classrooms that you attend and you participate in. Also, you can always reach out to Mrs. Tyndall, our assistant principal, and to the counselors, and to me, making sure that we're always here to support you and that we make the most of our virtual classrooms by practicing our PAWS. Thank you again for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you in those video conferences, in those virtual classrooms. Until then, as always, stay mighty Mojave.